Fast money promises are red flags. If someone tells you that you can buy a franchise and be cash flow positive in 30 days with no stress, get your running shoes on and start running, right? Listen, franchising is it's one of the safest and fastest paths to business ownership. No doubt about it. But it is not a scratch off lottery ticket, okay? So let's answer the real question. How much cash do you actually need? Well, first you need to understand what you're paying for, okay? In franchising, there are typically 4 buckets of money, right? You're going to have your franchise fee, okay? Write that down. The second thing you're going to have is some sort of equipment and startup costs, right? Did you write that down? Okay. Marketing, launch budget, and then working capital, okay? Now, most people obsess over the franchise fee. Man, and that is the smallest problem, okay? It might seem like it's a big one, but it ain't, right? The real question is this, right? Do you have enough runway to survive long enough to win? Okay? Let's talk real numbers, guys, all right? So in a service franchise model, such as Window Ninjas, a new owner typically needs between 100 and 200K. Let's stick with the 200K, okay? Marketing dollars that generates leads consistently. It's about $30,000 a year, 3 to 6 months of working capital, right? Okay, so you're probably asking, you're like, why, man? That seems like a lot. Well, it's because revenue does not show up on day one, okay? Man, you turn your marketing on, leads do take time, okay? Your reputation takes time. It takes time to build momentum, right? If nobody knows you, ain't nobody going to follow you. Remember that. If you're undercapitalized, you will feel pressure immediately. No doubt about that, okay? And pressure causes bad decisions. No doubt about that either, right? Break even is a timeline, man. It is not a date, okay? So look at the screen. I'm going to have my assistant put up a franchise breakdown of timeline for you guys, right? So this is what mature operators understand, right? And so you're going to become very, very understanding about all of this. I'm going to teach you something. Break even is not made one. It's not by being, making one really profitable week, right? You got to break even means your recurring revenue consistently covers, right? You're going to have payroll. You're going to have marketing expenses. You're going to have some overhead. You're going to have royalties, right? And you need to take in account your salary, man. Are you going to pay yourself, right? For most service franchises, realistically, break even happens somewhere between the 6th and the 18th month, depending on execution, market density, and how aggressive you are, right? Some are going to do it faster, no doubt about that, right? Some are going to take a little bit longer. That's okay, right? But it's the ones who struggle, they're usually the ones that are undercapitalized, man, okay? And that's why fast money is dangerous, okay? When somebody chases quick returns, man, they are typically cutting out marketing, they skip on hiring, man, they avoid investing in systems, and inevitably, man, they're going to panic when the cash flow dips, right? So this is how that's how businesses die, right? But Dan Martell, man, he talks about thinking long-term and building assets, and he's right, okay? Because a franchise is an asset. Assets always compound, right? But, hear me out, guys, but only if you can survive the early build phase, right? So how much cash do you really need? Isn't that the question that you're asking, right? Here's your answer, guys. You need enough to cover your initial investment, fund your marketing properly, pay yourself a little to do nothing at first, and stay emotionally calm for 6 to 12 months, right? You get that? If your last dollar is going into the franchise, man, you are doing nothing but gambling, right? Operators don't gamble. Operators always, always, always will calculate, right? So the real question is what you should ask. Don't ask, what's the minimum I can get away with, right? Ask, what is the safest amount that allows me to execute competently? Confidence builds speed. Speed builds momentum. Momentum builds profit. You like that? Listen, guys. Franchise ownership is a long game. It really is, okay? You are buying a system. You are buying time compression. You are buying mentorship if you look into the right franchise system, right? Patience always wins. It will pay you dividends, right? And if you're exploring a franchise ownership and you want to understand what realistic capital looks like for you and your situation, man, let's talk. Whether it's Window Ninjas or another model, man, make sure that you are properly funded before you jump in, okay? Because the right capital stack gives you peace. Now, peace allows you the opportunity to execute. Patience, my friend, it pays. Keep shining.